What if everything you thought about who you are, why you suffer, and what drives you was shaped by a story written mostly by men, from a world that didn't see your true struggle? Meet Karen Horney, a bold thinker who rewrote the script of psychoanalysis, shattering Freud's long-held beliefs and revealing a new way to understand human pain, anxiety, and especially the female experience. Tonight, let's walk through her radical challenge and why it still echoes today. Karen Horney entered this male-dominated field with fresh eyes and courage. She witnessed the limitations of Freud's theories, especially his views on women, neurosis, and the causes of anxiety. First, she challenged the idea of penis envy, what Freud called a girl's envy toward boys for possession of a penis, supposedly causing female feelings of inferiority. Horney called this view inaccurate and demeaning, arguing that feelings of inferiority in women were not biological, but culturally imposed. Instead, she proposed womb envy, a radical flip that men could feel envy toward women for their unique role in bearing life. This shattered Freud's male-centric psychology, showing that gender dynamics were more about social power and cultural roles than anatomy. Horney's ideas brought culture, society, and relationships into the spotlight. She believed that feelings of basic anxiety, a deep insecurity, and loneliness emerged from childhood experiences of neglect, hostility, or lack of warmth, not just unconscious sexual drives. Is it your hidden primal sexual and aggressive urges locked away in the unconscious? Or is it a complex dance of social pressures, broken relationships, and unmet needs that breed anxiety? And here's the bigger question. If your anxiety stems from society, culture, and relationships, what does that mean for healing? Is looking backward into childhood enough, or do we need to understand how social forces mold us today? Horney answered with a theory that felt closer to real life. She saw neurosis not as a sickness fixed only in the past, but as a spectrum of coping strategies people build around their basic anxieties. She named 3 main ways people try to protect themselves from these fears: moving toward people, clinging desperately to others for love and approval, afraid of rejection. Imagine the person who constantly pleases and fears being alone. Moving against people, striving for power and control as a defense, often lashing out, seeking dominance to mask vulnerability. Think of the aggressive, combative personality. Moving away from people, a trap Horney called compulsive behaviors. Horney's work also showed us how gender roles influence personality and mental health. She argued that women's struggles are often due to society's restriction and expectations, not some innate biological defect, as Freud suggested. She observed that women might run away from womanhood due to cultural pressures, becoming overly independent or rejecting their femininity to survive in a male-dominated world. At the same time, Horney traced a deep mistrust between the sexes arising from historical inequality, fear, and resentment. Her feminist perspective paved the way for modern psychology to understand that we cannot ignore culture, history, and social context when talking about the mind. Unlike Freud's distant, authoritative analyst who decodes symbols from the past, Horney encouraged a more relational, empathetic therapy that sees the client as a whole person, shaped by their current world and relationships. Her therapy is an active process of understanding how people's coping mechanisms develop socially and how they can be encouraged to grow beyond neurosis by finding self-worth and meaningful connections. This humanistic or hopeful approach contrasts with Freud's focus on unconscious conflict and deterministic drives. Horney's legacy is a psychology that values social justice, cultural awareness, and the real-world context for mental health, and that still guides therapeutic practices today. Freud stands beneath the flickering gaslight, his theories casting long, shadowy silhouettes across the minds of a generation. He is the titan of the unconscious, the cartographer of dreams, the master who claimed to know the secret roots of human misery. But from the corner of this vast echoing chamber, another voice rises, clear, questioning, brilliantly defiant. Enter Karen Horney. She does not shout. Instead, she calmly questions the very foundation of Freud's empire. She looks not just at the secrets of the mind, but also at the world built outside, by families, by cultures, by centuries of inequality and fear. You believe that women envy men, she says, her presence steady and uncompromising. But do you ever wonder if what we truly envy is not anatomy, but the freedom and power denied us by history itself? Freud's head tilts, curious. He has spoken for decades of penis envy, of women building their psyches around what they are missing. But Horney peels back the veil. It isn't the missing organ that wounds, she says, it's the world that treats women as less. The rules that say they must rely on men for worth and identity. The real envy, she proposes, might just flow in the opposite direction. Womb envy. Men's anguish, perhaps, is not that women lack, but that women can give life, create, nurture in a way men never can. The audience, students, colleagues, even Freud's own followers, shifts in their seats. A few frown, but many lean forward. The science of the soul is changing before their eyes. She listens, really deeply listens, to the stories of girls who do not want to be girls, of boys who are told never to cry. She sees that trauma is not the exclusive property. As questions from the audience rain down about dreams, about love, about rivalry, Horney challenges the master narrative with another burning truth. Psychology cannot diagnose a woman's soul by only looking at what she lacks compared to a man. The psyche is not just sexual, it is social, cultural, creative, and above all, it is human. The room is tense, old certainties tremble on their pedestals. Some cling to the Freudian story, the mythic power of ancient rivalries and dark desires. But others see a new door opening, a psychology that doesn't end with the discovery of hidden sin, but with the possibility of new life. As questions from the audience rain down about dreams, about love, about rivalry, Horney challenges the master narrative with another burning truth. Psychology cannot diagnose a woman's soul by only looking at what she lacks compared to a man. The psyche is not just sexual, it is social, cultural, creative, and above all, it is human. The room is tense, old certainties tremble on their pedestals. Some cling to the Freudian story, the mythic power of ancient rivalries and dark desires. But others see a new door opening, a psychology that doesn't end with the discovery of hidden sin, but with the possibility of new life. Freud, never one to retreat, concedes only this. Perhaps, Madame Horney, there is more to be said, but surely not all can be mere reaction to the world. To which Horney replies, of course we are more, but to imagine we are only our body's urges, and that history and power do not shape us. That is the greatest fantasy. As the shadows lengthen, Karen Horney's vision blooms, a vision that is both a challenge and a promise. She dreams of therapy that is not just an excavation of trauma, but a gentle invitation to heal. She dreams of women seen not as incomplete men, but as vibrant, whole selves, builders of meaning, makers of bonds, warriors against despair. She sees men too, crippled by their own forced power and forbidden softness, desperate to prove they can do what women do by nature: create, love, nurture, weep. Horney's work reverberates outward, into the world of feminist psychology, into the halls of therapists who learn to see clients first as people, into the voices of those who fight for cultural change. She shows us that anxiety and neurosis do not prove our ruin. They mark the human struggle to live and love in an imperfect world. They beg us not to wallow in hidden drives, but to step forward in courage, to build a life shaped by truth and empathy. Cut to modern day, a girl reading Horney's words understands that her struggle for approval is not just a flaw, but a map, her heart fighting to matter in a world too quick to judge. A man tired of never being man enough discovers in Horney's challenge permission to be whole, to be vulnerable, to step beyond the old roles. As our story closes, the light in the hall glows a little warmer. Freud's shadows remain, the genius and burdens of his view never fully gone. But Karen Horney's lamp burns beside it, another path in the maze, the path of resilience, of social understanding, of healing forged not in secrets, but in the courage to shape new meaning from old wounds. And you, watching, wondering, are invited to choose your path forward. Are you only the sum of hidden desires and ancient drives? Or, like Horney believed, are you a creator, capable of change, worthy of dignity and love, writing your story with each day you live? The final words linger in the air, spoken in Horney's spirit. You are not broken by biology. You are shaped by the world around you, but you, yes, you, hold the power to shape it back.